My name is Angela Holbrook, and I teach chemistry and genetics to 11th and 12th graders. Today, we're going to talk about a lesson where in nuclear chemistry, people were learning about the application of nuclear chemistry through different technologies using fission and fusion. So the first lesson sort of starts to introduce the topic of fission and fusion and what is different about them. The students worked both independently and collaboratively using online content. First, the purpose was posted both online here in the Haiku page as well as in the classroom. This allows me to discuss the purpose as a class with face-to-face instruction, and then also gives the students a reminder once they log into Haiku as to why we're doing the lessons. So before the students get laptops, I go over the purpose, and then I also modeled how to use the online simulation that the students will be using throughout this lesson. So then once the students began their work in pairs, they were collaborating to go through this nuclear fission simulation shown here. The prompts are posted right here for them to answer and guide them through the simulation. The students were able to discuss these prompts and respond to each other verbally to determine the answers as they were working through the simulation. If the students needed further guided instruction, I also circled the room to answer questions, or sometimes I would just verbally prompt or cue the students to get through the answer. Each student was expected to independently write the answers in his or her notebook. This simulation was very effective, and the prompting worked well, as the next day when the quick write questions, most students were able to answer the questions about nuclear fission correctly. And this quick write gave me a chance to do a quick formative assessment that the students didn't need to be retaught about fission in a face-to-face manner. Once the students were beginning to finish up the fission simulation, I called the class back together to introduce the second assignment, where the students were going to be beginning to learn about fusion. I showed the students this video here that was an introduction to fusion. I then also let them know that it's posted here on Haiku so they can watch it again if they needed any further clarification on fusion. The next step was going to be an independent task for the students online as a discussion board. I modeled how to use the discussion board and as well as what sort of wording to use to respond to the prompts. In the future, I would like to have an example discussion board posted on Haiku with suggestions of how to respond to peers and possibly sentence frames to help students continue the discussion online and collaborate better. The students then got on laptops and they had links here to different articles and videos that were explaining nuclear fusion as an energy source. The students had to individually respond to the discussion board prompts based on the evidence that they gathered here from these links. Once the students had responded, they were supposed to learn and collaborate with their peers more through the online posting and responding in the discussion board. So here's the discussion board. And you can see a student has posted, and then there were multiple responses to that student. For the following day, the purpose is again posted, and the students worked on the quick write that I mentioned earlier. The students continued work on the discussion board by looking at the links, watching the videos, and responding to their peers. Because I don't have enough laptops for everyone, the other half of the classroom was actually working on a nuclear study foldable that again required them to use some of their knowledge about fusion and fission. The final assignment in the application of nuclear chemistry was a mini research project that the students completed in class. There were 8 topics shown here related to the nuclear chemistry, and each student at a table picked a different topic so that in the end each person could share with and learn from the peers at their table. The students used Haiku to access articles, videos, and website links to help explain their topics. Some students used laptops while others used printed materials as shown here due to having only one laptop for every 2 students. The students had to organize their information into a diamond foldable, which I modeled how to create in the beginning of class. I've posted a few student examples. Here is one, and here is a second. The students then, once they had completed the foldables, shared with their peers in the face-to-face environment to learn about different types of uses of nuclear chemistry in the past and also future, and things that had happened sort of recent day, like the Japan earthquake causing the nuclear meltdown. In the future, I'm thinking with these foldables, the students at a table could create a digital summary of their learning, possibly using Glogster, Prezi, or some other Web 2.0 tool to post then to possibly a wiki project that other classmates could access or other classes could access. Well, thank you for listening to me explain my lesson. I hope you found it helpful, and good luck applying blended learning in your classroom.